madman who has turned up at previous jams. If you're here, give some sign of life. Has he chickened out?
Kinda, yes.
He has chickened out. Okay, he's trying to do madman laughter in the background. Today is going to be an interesting evening. We have somebody new taking part, Spurti, welcome. Shauna is here, but for some reason, other participants, okay, we have two more participants after that. We have Ruchira and yeah, Sama's name we already have. All right. Anush, are you also taking part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, super. The more the merrier. Okay. Tom seems to have a bit of a fan club. We are typing weird messages. Let's not intrude in the intimate communication between a madman and his fans. All right. I don't think Lara is here yet. Shauna, are you here?
Sir, I'm here. This is Lara.
Congrats. Oh, Lara is here as well. Super.
Congrats.
Okay. Spurti, are you here? I thought I saw you a moment ago.
Yes, sir. Hello. Good evening, sir.
Nice to have you here. Thank you. Tom, we heard vague signs of life. Sama didn't respond to jokes about her name, so I suppose she's not here yet. Are you here,
I'm here,
Sama?
sir. I'm here. I just lost my voice, so I'm trying to speak as less as possible.
It doesn't sound like it at all. You could have fooled me. Ruchira, are you here?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I think we have all our participants, and Anush is also able to speak. Yeah, she was. So everyone's here, and we shall start. So for those who are doing jam for the first time, remember that it's hard for everybody. The only people it's easy for are the audience, who just have to make rude remarks in the comments, and the jam master, who just has to come up with topics and then roast you as and when the opportunity arises. Everybody else is sort of trying to stay afloat. Okay. So don't worry too much about making an ass of yourself, etc. Jam requires a certain modicum of shamelessness. So be shameless and remember that you're among friends. No one expects you to say anything serious or deep or impressive. Jam is about allowing your inner nonsensical person to come out and have a party. Okay. So the topics invite absurdity, invite invention, invite your capacity for taking the audience by surprise, and also giving your opponents the occasional hard time. Right? Those are the simple things to bear in mind. There are also rules, unfortunately, and the rules are very simple. I usually get people to use the mnemonic HRD, very horrible acronym, but not one that you'll forget easily. For the 3 rules you need to remember, no hesitation. What that means, as I understand it, is if a speaker runs out of things to say, we will put that speaker out of their misery and give the mic to somebody else. If you object saying he paused, right, I'm going to be sort of sympathetic to the speaker. Remember, the jam is about people doing things with topics, not about your fancy objections. So if you object and I don't like your objection, I might also decide not to like your face, which could be slightly fatal from the scoring point of view. So object only when absolutely essential. Let other people speak. Okay. The second rule is no repetition, and there too I'm generous. BBC Jam, which is the model we follow, comes down on the repeated use of some specific parts of speech, but I'm generous on that one. I make one simple distinction. You can't repeat any vocabulary item. You can repeat prepositions and conjunctions and articles and all those things that have what are known as a grammar function, right? So all grammar function words can be repeated. We are not going to worry. The topic can be repeated either as a whole or individual words in the title. Both can be repeated during the attempt at the microphone. The things that count as a repetition are vocabulary items. So if you have a sentence such as, the duck is looking rather happy, the objections that will be sustained are for the words duck, looking, and happy. Even rather, I would sort of be kind about, unless the speaker sort of makes a habit of using it too often. All right. So those are the no repetition rules in short. The third rule in JAM is no deviation, and it started out as a serious rule that there shouldn't be deviations from common sense, but in time people realized that that was a really dabba way of talking about the competition, because JAM is about the absurd and the nonsensical, and then it became no deviations from the general rules of the language. So that I interpret very liberally once again. I understand it as A, the speaker should be understood, right? So if something that you say is convoluted and difficult to understand and is not really an attempt at using the spoken language well, only then will I take in the deviation rule, right? If people make the odd grammatical slip, we're not going to come down on them heavily, right? But if there is a serious problem in getting the message across, if there is an obstruction to comprehension, if there is a really vile sort of abomination committed in the name of a sentence, only then will I apply that rule. So this is the ground that gets used the least. It's usually hesitation or repetition, but the third rule also exists. If your objections are funny and if I am amused to the point of an involuntary ha-ha inside or outside my beard, I might give you an extra point, right? So that brings us to the point system. You get points for speaking, and these are measured in terms of the number of seconds you're able to hold for. So for every second that you speak, you get a point, and every round is for a minute. So there's a maximum of 60 points available in each round. And if you happen to be speaking when the minute goes, so on the 60th second, the bench will issue some signal. It's usually a bell or a clanging gong or some unmissable object or sound. We'll figure out what it is today. We've tried things like whistles and wolves howling in Siberia and other such innovations. Let's find out from the bench what it's going to be today. So Shweta, what is the signal that we are going to agree on for the minute?
So I think we just ask Malavika who's keeping time.
Malavika. Jolly good,
Hi,
Malavika.
sir. Hi, sir. We'll put the sound of hen.
You'll put the sound, what?
Of hen.
Can I hear it once, please? I might not notice.
Just a second, sir.
Are you going to imitate a hen, or are you going to release a hen among the participants?
I'll release a hen. Not from among participants,
What
but
a resourceful, I've never seen a resourceful EAP student so far, but if you managed a hen and the release of a hen into cyberspace. This is something I want to see. Now, can I hear the sound? I can hear some vague, faraway sound. It sounds like a tsunami coughing.
Oh, sir,
Oh, that's Vinay, is it?
I'll just make it more louder and will play it to you. Just a second.
Okay, okay. I have to be able to hear it, otherwise the round won't end. And that Tom will keep saying gross things. I'm worried more about the mental health of the public that's listening. Malavika, timekeeper, Apurva Pathak, scorekeeper. Apurva Pathak's name has been changed. I don't think she knows.
Sir, is this audible?
You are audible. Where's your hen? I can't hear the smallest cheep or clock or anything.
Still?
That sounds like people giggling.
Oh, this hen is not loud enough, sir. I think I'll just set time off. Is it fine?
An undernourished hen. My appreciation for your resourcefulness comes down a little bit. Why don't you just say vitamin B loudly and we'll all stop?
What? Sorry, sir?
Vitamin B.
Vitamin B, yes, sir, for sure. Vitamin B.
Very memorable phrase.
Yes.
Nobody has it. Right? The quantity least in abundance after brains. So all in all, a good choice, I think. So congrats to Malavika, who's going to be our timekeeper and noise maker. And
Yes, sir, yes.
Apurva Pathak, who is going to keep scores under the name Ananya Pandey. Welcome and do your job efficiently and nobody will abuse you. Do your job inefficiently and you will become the jam topic in the next round, as a certain young man found out last week. All right, the audience is making noises in the chat. All right, so let's decide on a simple order to begin the topic with. Who's the, we want to do who's the youngest. We'll do who's the oldest. The world doesn't like old people. So who is the oldest among our participants?
Shauna.
Shauna Mona, sir.
Shauna is keeping a strategic silence. I don't think she wants to begin.
Are you asking me?
Okay, audience is demanding EJP Shireen. Has she hidden under the bed as usual? She seems to have, right? Please remember that we'll produce a jam t-shirt saying no Shireen by the end of the contest. Okay, Shauna, or Shauna as you prefer to be known, you're going to be the person starting jam today. I decided to do something mildly different with jam today. There'll be a nasty surprise in each round. It won't be nasty, just a surprise. So the topic for the first round, which Shauna will begin, is pundits. Just that single word, pundits. You can do what you want with it. And each round of jam today, there are 4 rounds. Each round of jam comes with a constraint, right? So it will be on the lines of you can't do this or you have to do this, right? So the constraint for the first round is that every speaker has to begin with the word God promise every time they get the mic. Okay, if they forget to say that, you can object and take the mic away from them, right? So all speakers have to use the word, it's a phrase, but we'll call it a word for today. The word God promise while they get the microphone. So this is not just Shauna when she begins the topic, right? If she gets the mic back at any point, she has to begin with the word God promise. Okay, the topic is pundits. And is your mic working, Shauna?
Test 1, 2, 7. Is
Just
it?
1, 2. It's the trees, I think. They're interfering with the sonic waves, right? All right. We know you're from Goa, Shauna. Stop partying on camera. The topic is pundits, and if you're ready, Shauna, your time starts now.
God promise, this Pandit Lanaula is something else only. Funny fellow. I really like him, but my nightie was stinking that day in the morning. Twice I told Pandita to wash it. She said, no, I can't do this. It's 12 o'clock in the morning. Can't you wash something on and on
Okay,
again?
Tom objects.
But
Tom, what is your objection?
The word morning twice.
Repetition of the word morning twice. What a horrible objection. Right. You said repetition. Why are you saying twice after that?
Sir,
Jackass. Okay, -1 to Tom. Learn to object properly. How can you violate the rules of jam in your objection? So -1 to Tom. Get over that handicap, dirty
Yes, sir.
boy. Repetition of the word morning twice, I believe. Jackass. How many points to Shauna?
22 seconds, sir.
22 seconds. Oh my God. Please wait for the special effects of jam, which include competitive Mona. That's Shauna's alter ego, right? When she gets worked up and excited, competitive Mona emerges out of this normally peaceful Shauna. She didn't get a chance to let that side out, but now that Tom has riled her, right? I think we'll see it in action. Tom, you start with a -1. Right, just to teach you how to object properly. And if you're ready, Tom, the topic is still pundits. And what is the constraint?
God promise.
God promise. The constraint is not God promise. You have to begin with the word God promise. Jackass. All right. Jackass, Tom, if you're ready, let's hear a jackass performance from you. The topic is still pundits. And your time starts now.
God promise. These pundits are pundits. Jawaharlal Nehru, also a pundit, the first Prime Minister of India, did no blunder but created all religious chaos. And his daughter, Indira Gandhi, God alone knows, she was a wonderful woman whose works are stored in the British Library in Bangalore.
Shauna's putting her hand up. Okay, so cute. Yes, Shauna, what's your objection? Please unmute and object, Shauna. See, you just saw competitive Mona turn up. Yes.
repetition of the word God.
Repetition of the word God. People who believe in God will say there's no harm in repeating the word, but since I'm an atheist and your jab master, you'll get permitted the objection, right? So how many points did Tom make? Remember the -1?
21 seconds. So -1 and 21, 20 points.
Oh my God, an EJP student has done subtraction successfully. So
Yes.
20 points to Tom and 20 points to EJP. Mike goes back to Shauna. The topic is still pundits. And remember the constraint. Your time starts now.
God promise. I used to think that Rasundari Devi was a Pandit. I was wrong. Amar Jiban was written by her, but Panditism was not hers. Anyway, 12 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. I read a book and I thought to myself, what about Pandit?
Vitamin B.
I can't even.
One sec. She said vitamin B, which means you got the minute, Shauna.
Oh, yeah.
So you get the minute. So how many points is that?
17 seconds plus 10.
Okay, can we hear the scores also?
It's 49 for Shauna. Tom, it's 20.
49 points to Shauna and 20 to Tom. All right. Congrats, Shauna. You managed to actually say one funny thing with the topic, which is impressive, considering you're from Goa and all of that. But the potential in the topic pundits nobody exploited. They made the tired old pundits, and that Tom, he sounded like he was about to say dirty words. I was going to object myself, but he soon covered himself in glory, so that's okay. But with pundits, one other way in which you can parse it is to go Kurgi on it and to say pandits and then talk about pandikari and have fun doing so, right? You can also go pandits and do things with pans and pots, or pan and pot. So many things you can do. Use your creativity, guys. Someone's commenting in the audience about a job stolen. Never mind. These JIP guys, they think the J in JIP stands for job, right? Freak shows. All right. So one topic over, one constraint over. New topic. And this time we're going to start with someone who hasn't had a chance. Who are the others? Shweta, can you call out the list of participants? I've forgotten. I can only remember Ruchira and Sama because she's on screen. Other contestants.
Yes, sir. So we also have Spurti, Tom, Lara, and I think Ruchira, and we have, I just forgot the last person's name. I'm so sorry. But it is
Spurti, Tom, Lara, Sama, and was there a fifth person? Anush. Okay, Anush is new to JAM and is a first-year student and is here despite the fact that they have tests tomorrow. So in appreciation of this spirit of bravado, we will give Anush 10 points to start with, right? And spit on all those first-year fellows who are dying because they have exams and are not here to take part, right? I hope monkeys do susu on you when you're not looking. Right?
Sir, 21 CBs at 44, sir, first year.
21 CBs at 44. So very unimpressive number. Boring. Boring to the core. Boring to the bore. Right? Both ways it doesn't work. You want points, is it?
No, sir. No. Not now.
Oh, not now. When do you want points, Tom?
I prefer not to get more minus negative markings and stuff. Yeah.
Since you're a first-year student who has managed to become famous on the platform of JAM in college, right? And because you've never had an affair ever before, right? Out of sympathy and consideration for your extreme youth, we'll give you 3 points, right?
Thank you, sir.
And since you got a -1, we'll give you another 7 points. So you can take 10 points too. What exam do you have tomorrow? Do you know?
No, sir. My friends are going to help me out.
Oh, scamster. Oh, treating exams like installation art. Okay, you come, you take part, we'll deal with you. All right, Anush, welcome to JAM. Don't be nervous, have a blast on the mic, right? The topic is slightly risque. It is excuse my jacuzzi. Excuse my jacuzzi. For people who don't know what such depraved pursuits are, Tom is here. He didn't know what an affair was, so I can't take chances. A jacuzzi is a kind of revolving bathtub. That's the best quick definition I can come up with. Some people sink in it, but my good friend Cherian Alexander floats in one. It sort of violates all laws of physics and nature as far as I can understand them. But then Cherian is Cherian, so just wanted to put that picture in your mind of Cherian Alexander floating in a jacuzzi. The topic is excuse my jacuzzi, and the constraint is that every speaker has to begin with a pun. You can see competitive Mona dying in a corner on your screens. It's a pretty sight when JAM contestants die because they have to use their brains and come up with a pun. But this is how life is. So take it or leave it. Anush, the topic is excuse my jacuzzi. And if you're ready, your time starts now.
Excuse my jacuzzi because it doesn't have enough space for you to fit in. The water is very colorful. It's got pink, yellow, orange, blue, violet, and it's so astounding to see all the rainbows and everywhere just floating around. Rainbows remind me of Pride Walk that I have to go tomorrow.
Okay. Lots of hands going up. Let's see The only useful thing about teams is that it tells you who raised their hand first, right? So it seems to be competitive Mona who's got the edge on peaceful Shauna. So yes, competitive Mona, what is the objection?
The repetition of the word rainbow.
Repetition of the word rainbow. Do you remember the word that came after rainbow in both instances?
Yes, of course.
You know the two words that she used along with the rainbow? That Anush used along with the rainbow?
No, she used jacuzzi.
And then?
And then rainbow, and then rainbow again. Full stop.
Fraud. All right, but we'll give it to you. The rules of JAM do not, as of now, say you have to remember words that the participant used. And that's why you're getting away with this very frail objection. But how many seconds did young Anush manage?
21 seconds.
Shauna. Are you objecting to your objection? Sorry, I missed that. How many seconds?
21 seconds, sir.
21 seconds
21.
is impressive, right? Tom badly managed 18 seconds when he did his debut. So 21 is a stronger debut. Congratulations, Anush. There are 39 seconds left in the minute. And you can see competitive Mona now sizing up the 39 seconds. You can see that she doesn't like this at all. The topic is still, let me compliment Anush on making a creditable attempt on a pun with squeeze my jacuzzi, right? I thought you were going to talk about exes, but I suppose you didn't want to offend Tom, right? Who's still dealing with the fact that people have affairs. All right. Shauna, you'll have to come up with a pun and prove that people from Goa know what it means.
I have a question. The
I'm
first
sure you do.
has to be a pun, or it can be in the first sentence.
You have to begin with a pun, but since independence came slowly to Goa, we'll allow you to make the pun in your first sentence. All right, it's all right. We'll tolerate that.
Oh.
All right. Okay, if you're ready, and if our scorers are ready, and if our bench has their arithmetic genes all dressed up and ready to party, Shauna, the topic is Excuse My Jacuzzi, and there is a constraint, and your time starts now.
I like bootyful women in my jacuzzi. Jacuzzis are for bubbles and maybe some wine, and everything fine. Do you know, yesterday Reena was with me, and she took a little bit of water and splashed it on my face. Wake up, I said. And then...
Well,
it was
21 CBZ 44 is Quick Gun Murugan today. First objection from him. Poor Sama waved and then remembered she had to press that hand, right? So we'll give Sama unintentional humor points. 3 points to you, Sama. Good going there. Jam is a hard competitive sport. Thank you for bringing laughter and lightheartedness back into the sport. Much appreciated. Tom, what's your objection?
So hesitations.
Hesitation.
Wow.
Have you looked at Shauna? She's such a competitive person.
So,
right? The only time she hesitates is when you say you have to make a pun and prove that Goa understands punning.
Yes, sir. There was hesitation right after the previous sentence which he was about to start.
Why are you studying CBZ, young Tom? You should be studying law or some shady profession like that, right? Where you speak many words in a sentence and don't say anything really. You did actually remember where she hesitated, did you? Admit the truth.
So after the event, I'll tell you.
After the event? Are you propositioning me in some weird way on this contest, young Tom?
No, nothing like that, sir. Nothing.
You're sure?
Yes, sir.
After the event and all is like what we used to do when we were sleazy young men, right? We say after the event, come behind the screen, we'll show you, we'd say. Sounds very much like that.
So nothing like that.
Be careful, be careful. You're a young fellow, you don't know anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So young Tom gets the topic. You're sure you know what a jacuzzi is?
Yes, sir.
It's a nice place to have an affair in case you
Hope
are
so. Sir.
contemplating one.
Hope so.
Okay. Excuse my jacuzzi. There is a constraint. I hope you remember the constraint, Tom.
Yes, sir.
All right. How many seconds did Shauna get?
It's 23 seconds, sir.
How many seconds left in the minute? 16, no?
Yeah.
16 seconds left. Tom, you can get 16 and get the bonus 10. You just have to manage to hold your youth in check and get to those 16 seconds.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Excuse my jacuzzi. Your time starts now.
Excuse my jacuzzi. Osama bin Laden told I work for world peace and he called Sheikh Mehboob. My God, I don't know what he meant. But John Cena says you can't.
This good. Okay, Shauna's objection. You can see competitive Mona in action once again. Yes, Mona.
No pun.
Bro, you didn't listen to it. You didn't listen to it.
If I had heard the pun,
Osama bin Laden told I work for world peace and he called Sheikh Mehboob.
Okay.
Oh God,
Need a
these
lot
high
of
school
knowledge.
boys and their high school jokes, right?
It's like, yeah.
I object to your
people were
joke.
like,
I
have
object
not
to your
reached that
joke. It's
age,
not
sir.
your pun. It was made by boys when I was a young man.
Sir,
Right?
I'm kind of copying from you, sir. So yeah, no.
Yeah, I've never made such gross puns. My puns are beautiful. They're like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. People fall down and die when I make
Are
puns.
they bombs, sir?
Huh? They are bombs. I'm a bomb. Right? What are you? You're just young Tom and you've not had an affair. Right?
Yes.
So your defense is execrable, but he made an attempt. Right? But 1 point to Shauna for refusing to be fooled by one old PJ. Right? So 1 point to Shauna. The mic goes back to
Sir,
Tom.
okay. So am
Right?
I going
You
to
have
start
to make,
again with
now you're beginning again, which means you have to make another pun. And if you make one more reheated, pulled out from my grandfather's refrigerator kind of joke, I'll find you wherever you are and sit on you. It won't be pretty after that. All right. Okay, the topic is still excuse my jacuzzi. And if you're ready, pun, young Tom, your time starts now.
This is what my new girlfriend told. What
Vitamin B.
Oh, he got the minute. He got the minute. Okay, take your minute. He didn't make his pun. What was the pun going to be, Tom?
Sorry, sir?
What was your pun going to be?
So it was like, okay, what if your boyfriend hates you, hates your fruit joke, you let the man go? It was like,
I'm still waiting.
minus 18 puns. So it is like no adult content because.
Because you don't know what an adult is. Okay,
yes,
fine.
sir. Yes,
my
sir.
sympathies. My sympathies. My sympathies. Right. Okay, give him his minute, gross young man. What are the scores?
Sir, it's 73 for Shauna.
Mm.
Tom gets 56 and Sama gets 3.
Who's on 3?
Sama.
Sama is on 3. All right. Who are the people who haven't had a chance at the mic yet?
Excuse me, sir. Apurva, is it 56 or 46?
16 seconds are remaining in the minute, right?
Yeah, 16. So he gets 16 plus the 10. So that's 26.
Yes, sir. So he got, didn't you give him, so he got 20 initially and then you gave him an additional 10.
26?
And then,
correct.
And then
correct.
he got 26.
Sure.
Correct. TP is better than EJP at maths. Okay, super. We've settled that issue satisfactorily, right? Okay, so who are the people who haven't had a chance at the mic? Ruchira hasn't spoken. Who else hasn't spoken? Okay. Who's JIP 30? Is that Lara?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you haven't had a chance. Okay. Who else is left in the free? I heard Spurti is dropping out due to tech issues. Is she back? She's not back.
No, sir. I don't think she'll be back.
Okay,
So only Ruchira and Lara have to go.
Only Ruchira and Lara.
Sir, I forgot to mention Anush's points.
Oh, yeah. Anush's score. Yes, please.
21.
21 to Anush. Okay, right. So Ruchira hasn't spoken. Lara hasn't spoken. Lara is an old hand at jam, so we'll give her the next round, right? Since Ruchira hasn't jammed with us, we'll give her this round, right? So Ruchira, if you're ready, we'll start the third topic with you. And the topic is Christ versus SJC, for whatever reason.
1 second.
Right?
Should I also start with the pun?
No, that was for the last round. The constraints keep changing.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I've written some constraint. Let me try and make sense of my own handwriting. Give me a moment. It says ONE, that's 1. And after that, it says H. And then it says R. Right? So let me make sense of that. I had some flash of inspiration, which I can't remember now. Right? I'll just change it around and make it something that I can understand now. The topic is Christ versus SJC. And you have to begin, every time you get the mic, you have to begin with the phrase, one day, in that tone. Right? If you don't manage that tone, people can object. So let me repeat the phrase and the proper intonation for you. This is how we tell stories in Bangalore, right? We say, one day, right? Or you say, one day I was Papa walking on the road and one cow came and butted me, right? You get the tone? So you have to have one day. Let's get everyone to practice. Shauna, you're a musician, so you have to go first. Do one day properly.
One day.
You sound embarrassed. What is this? Pride of Goa and all. Sticking out like this. Chicken, die. Okay, Sama, can you do one day?
One day.
One day. What are you going to say? Vande Mataram in a moment. What is this? Say it properly with full Bangalore spirit. You have to say.
Hey, one day, no da.
One day, no da. That's a different intonation. That's boys talking to boys. We want one day, which is what you say when you're happy and chill and mellow, right? After drinking cheap beer at Picos, right? And you know you have to pay one huge bill. That's when you talk like this. Anush, you want to go with the correct intonation of one day?
One day.
Oh, much better, much better, much better. Lara?
One day.
Terrible. Sounds so embarrassed. Put spirit into it. Ruchira, do your one day. Let's hear.
One day.
What is this? You swallowed the Brindavan Express.
Not
Nonsensical persons, all of you. Right?
Much better.
Another way of saying one day is to channel Dr. Rajkumar. He has a song which goes, one day Vondu Ase. Right? You can say it like that also. But none of you fellows know Kannada, so wasted on you. So one day is how you have to begin. Right? So people can object to the intonation of one day. If you feel that it lacks spirit, right, you have to do it better and take the mic back. Okay. So every time you get the mic, you have to begin with this precise intonation of the phrase one day. All right. The mic is Ruchira's. The topic is Christ versus SJC. Be kind to those poor fellows. As it is, they have to live there and get roasted by their own management. Right? Don't knock them unnecessarily. Let's keep it funny and family friendly, if such a thing is possible. Funny, family friendly and all, where you fellows. Okay, right. Ruchira, if you're ready, the topic is Christ versus SJC. There is a constraint and your time starts now.
One day when I was sitting on my terrace sipping a hot cup of chai, I realized.
Yeah, one sec. Shauna's objected. What's your objection, Shauna?
There is no objection.
Shauna's making gestures of surrender. Okay, surrender chicken.
I misheard. Sipping, sitting. Sorry about that.
Okay, fine. All right. So we'll give Ruchira an extra point because Shauna decided to interrupt her and then chickened out. I think competitive Mona has this other personality called I shall chicken out now. So my commiserations, Shauna. Better luck next time. Back to you, Ruchira. Your one day is deeply dissatisfactory. I'm just reeling from the fact that nobody objected to it. Well, they're basically gutless, so you'll keep getting away with it. Back to you, Ruchira. The topic is Christ versus SJC. You haven't said anything material on the topic, but that's because Shauna didn't let you. If you're ready, your time starts now.
One day when I was walking down the road and feeling grateful for... Wait, why? Okay, I didn't even get to start.
Objection now from Anush. What's the objection?
One day, sir.
You object to the one day. Okay, give me a better one day.
One day, when Christ went to SJC.
Okay. Good. Objection sustained. How many seconds to Ruchira?
18 seconds, sir.
18 seconds. Okay. You're in the same.
1 second. In my defense, there was no repetition or hesitation or deviation, right, from my one day. You asked us to elongate the one day.
You should listen to the jam master more carefully. I said people can object to your rendition of one day. And if they can do it better, I will give it to them. Right? So Anush's rendition of one day is a perfect naturalistic wonder. Right? So she gets the mic. Anush gets the mic. All right, Anush, the topic is still Christ versus. Are you a Bangalore person? Not.
But I am living in Bangalore.
That doesn't mean anything, right? You might as well live in Mumbai and commute to Bangalore, right? So channel whatever you know or don't know, it doesn't matter. Nobody is going to catch you out on factual accuracy, at least when you're talking about Christ. So be my guest. The topic is Christ versus SJC, and if you're ready, your time starts now.
One day, when Christ came to SJC during the time of Christmas, he was nailed onto a cross and was walking barefooted, but he found a Converse on the roads. When he found those shoes, he was able to put on those shoes and he realized it was very dark.
Okay. Again, funny moments in jam. Shauna's hand went up first before she pressed the button, right? And Tom's hand went unerringly on the button. Oh my God, what speed, Tom. Beating everybody on the button. Very good. So we'll just call Tom an energetic young button for all this energy he's showing. We'll give Shauna 3 points for unintentional humor, right? Congrats for wave.
My objection.
Your objection is number 3 on our list, right? Oh. So sorry about that. Let Tom beat you. While you were raising your hand, he put his finger on the correct button, right? So Tom gets the mic now. How many points to Anush? Scorers, have you died?
Sir, I'm alive, sir, but I'm only keeping score. I'm not keeping time.
So what was
Aravika, how many seconds did Anush manage?
Sir, it's 17 seconds.
17 seconds. How many do we have left in the minute? About 25, right? Ask an EJP student or numbers question and wait for a century for the answer. All right, it's about 25 seconds. The mic goes now to Tom. Tom, are you alive?
Yes, sir.
Christ versus SJC.
But you didn't ask me what was my objection.
You didn't ask him.
Oh, yeah. What was your objection? What was your objection?
Repetition of found and also hesitation like in between those two words. Like you have.
Anush did a bit of rephrasing, right? Which, according to the rules of jam, is a no-no because you end up repeating a set of words, right? So I'll sustain that objection. Tom, you get the mic. Somebody called Lona Wolf talking physics in the background. Ignore him. He chickened out of some contest. So I'm ignoring him too. Christ versus SJC. Tom, do your best. Your time starts now.
One day at SJC, during Intramural, a fest conducted by TEC.
Okay, Sama objects.
I'm not satisfied by his one day.
Okay.
Bro, I had
version.
some nice concept. Damn.
Give us a better version, Sama.
Yes, sir. What did you say?
You have to give us a better version of one day.
Oh, definitely. Okay. One day.
Okay, works. Much better than Tom's
Oh.
anemic, bloodless, completely unsatisfying one day. Put music into your life, Tom. As it is, you don't have affairs. At least put music in your life.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sama, you get the objection. How many points to Tom?
It was 8 seconds, sir.
8 seconds. One day, Tom, you'll make 40 seconds and 40 points, but not today. All right. Sama, you get the topic. It's still Christ versus SJC. No one has said anything about the topic, right? It's that kind of topic. Over to you. Your time starts now.
One day, I walked into Christ University to find honey buns. These are pretty good bread that have
One sec.
form
Tom
of
has an
sweet
objection.
liquid.
Hold the mic. Tom has an objection. Yes, Tom.
Sir, one day was not impressive, sir. I could have told better, sir. Let me try.
I've listened to your one day. I've listened to her one day. And I've listened to her second one day. In each of them, there was more variety than there is in your objections. So die, Tom. You're not getting the mic back on this one, right? So since you tried so hard and since you're going to write an exam, and if it's English, you're probably going to die in that exam, I'll give you 1 sympathy point. Okay, so 1 point to Tom for trying manfully or personfully, whatever the correct word is, right? And the mic goes back to Sama, primarily because she actually managed to get to Christ. So you got into Christ University, no one stopped you and said, hey, what are you doing here? All right. So you have to tell us what happened after that.
So should I restart the whole thing or continue?
You have to continue.
Okay.
But you have to remember the constraint.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So if you're ready, Sama, your clock will start now.
As I put that delicacy in my mouth, it melted entirely
Objections first from Lara.
So I had to begin with one day.
Lara, what's your objection?
I didn't know.
She didn't start with one day.
Yeah, I said there's a constraint, right?
But I didn't know every time I spoke, I had to begin with one day.
I announced that also. Too bad, right? But since you were about to say something interesting, we'll stop the clock and let you finish that thought.
Don't say it.
Or are you going to save it? Are you going to save it till you get the mic back again? Okay, fine. Be like that. We'll give Lara the mic because she hasn't had a chance at the mic at all. So how many points to Sama?
It's 13, sir.
13 points to Sama. Good show. Mic to Lara. The topic is Christ versus SJC. Constraint continues to operate. And if you're ready, Lara, your time starts now.
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, you have a question. Sorry. What's your question?
So does one day, if I repeat the words, does that count?
You have to begin your first shot with one day. But if you say that after that, in the course of that attempt on the mic, people can object.
So I can't.
You can only use it. You can only use it if you get the mic back during this round. Okay, right? Full strategy and all. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So you got the mic. You know the constraint. Sama is hurting somewhere. Keep smiling during this part. And she'll hurt some more. Your time starts now.
One day, Sama was telling me about when she went to Christ University. What?
Wait, I saw an objection, so we'll take the objection. Objection from Shauna. Yes. Sorry, did she get which?
Yes.
We'll give Lara the minute.
Yes,
Sorry
sir.
about that, Shauna. Lara gets the minute. So how many seconds to Lara?
It was 4 seconds plus 10 extra
4
for
plus
1
10.
minute.
Okay, so you will get those 14 points, Lara. Over to you. 14 points to you, that is. Let's hear scores at the end of the third round. We have one more round of jam with one more constraint, right? But let's hear.
Sir, I haven't spoken first either. So
you
it's
haven't
2 more
spoken first
rounds.
either.
Sorry.
Okay, fine. We look at the scores and take a call on that. Yes, let's hear the scores.
Yes, sir. Shauna has 76. Tom has 65. Lara has 14. Sama has 16. Ruchira has 19. And Anush has 38.
38. All right. So it is a fair point when people say they haven't got first shot at the mic, right? So the people, Ruchira did get a first shot. We'll give first shot now to, who's got the lowest score, Lara or Sama? Sama,
Lara,
right?
sir,
Oh,
14.
Lara has the lowest score. So Lara will get first shot. We'll have one more round just to make sure that Sama also gets to start a topic, right? Especially since she got so bakrad on that one day, right? She's the only one who actually fell for it, right? Too bad. Life is tough. All right. Round 4 goes to Lara. She begins that round. The topic is Amazing Grace, Graze, right? Amazing Grace. And the constraint, there is a constraint here. You can't use the word and in this round. All right. You have to find other ways of conveying addition or joining, which the word and normally does. That is the constraint. So people can object to your use of the word and in this round. All right. It seems to have crushed Lara entirely. Too bad. Every round has a constraint. The topic for this round is Amazing Grace. The constraint is no and. And if you're ready, Lara, we'll start the clock again for you. The topic is Amazing Grace, and your time starts now.
Amazing Grace reminds me of an experience I had with an old auntie from church. I was required to play the hymn on the piano as preparation for some Christmas activity.
Okay, there's an objection from Shauna first. This time she got the sequence right. Punch the button, put the hand up. All right.
She ran out of steam after the word church.
Well, she's not a train, so she's allowed to not have steam within her. What is the objection, Shauna?
Hesitation.
Hesitation.
The actual objection.
Well, she seemed to be remembering a traumatic event featuring some older woman. So I want to know what this is about. Die, Shauna. You get 1 point for trying. Back to Lara. What's the objection now?
So, sir, no, the same. So after the word church, she got totally confused. She's like, what am I saying? Like, gosh, oh no, I forgot about this experience.
That was her expression, I guess.
1 more point to Shauna for histrionics, right? The Oscar for emotion in online jam goes to Shauna Lynn De Silva. Congratulations. Right, the mic goes back to Lara. Lara, you've probably survived some nasty experience, but we are ghouls. We are waiting to hear about it. The mic comes back to you, and your time starts now.
With that being said, we were expected to sing along to the hymn and play the piano to these old...
Objection first from Tom. Tom, what is your objection?
Grace, sir. Wasn't told. Sir.
Tom.
Amazing Grace. Wasn't told.
Tom has some...
Amazing Grace wasn't told, sir.
Are they a person to be told anything?
Yeah, it wasn't like the, what do you say, the criteria was not followed.
You are the Amazing Grace that some cow had. Go die top. What is the Dabba objection? I'm going to...
There's only one objection per round. You can't take one
objection per shot. right? So all of you can write your objections down and put them in your autobiography. Can be a nice chapter title. I have this beautiful objection or some such thing. The mic goes back to Lara. Amazing Grace is the topic. She did use the word "and" once, which handsome Tom forgot to
Did she
remember.
seriously listen to
it? Too bad, Tom. You remembered now. Congrats, but you don't get the mic now.
Yes.
But we'll give you 1 point for, remembering some faltu rule of jam, which doesn't really matter right now.
Yes.
1 point to Tom once again. Mic goes back to Lara. How many seconds do we have left in this minute?
Sir, Lara got 26 seconds.
26 seconds. A bit more than Tom's adolescence, but that may just be a moment of surprise for all of us. Amazing Grace. Don't use the conjunction "and." That's the constraint. The topic that's Lara's topic. Your time starts now.
As we howled the chorus in glory of Mother Mary, we soon saw a stick flying towards us. Little did we know it was by the woman who I met earlier downstairs.
Okay, Tom objects again.
So there was a small hesitation, like when she told "little did we know." She was like, little did we know," something like that. She wanted to hesitate. She hesitated there.
How many millimeters was the hesitation? Since you said like, small.
It was like, little did hesitate. So yeah, there was also like a repetition of, but then that doesn't act as a grammar function. But then there was a small hesitation. So it was like.
You're basically gabbling now, Tom. You know that you're dead in the water, don't you?
I want to swim up, sir. Back to the shore.
Keep swimming. Keep swimming. You move both your hands and your legs. You'll soon be able to make it to land. All right. Why is the mic going back to Lara? Object properly. Boneheads, all of you.
Yes, sir.
1 point to Tom for trying again because he's now learning swimming. Mic goes back to Shauna. Can't stand it that we don't have multiple objections. Too bad. Right? Learn to press that button quickly. Right? So look at Tom. He's just all over that button. My God. Probably has it plastered to his forehead or something. Okay. So Lara, the topic is Amazing Grace. Your time starts now.
Turns out the little old woman had slipped and her stick went flying away and just grazed her.
Objection first from Sama.
Hesitation when she said stick and then.
Fine. Let's take the mic away from Lara. She hasn't told us anything exciting or interesting, right? At the end of this round, we'll make her tell us what exactly she was going to say or what she just stringing us along. We'll find that out. How many points to Lara?
It's 49, sir.
49 points. Okay, wow. That's about as old as I am. I was that age last year. Points to Lara. Mic to Sama. The topic is still Amazing Grace. Remember, there's a constraint, Sama. I'm reminding you. Do you want me to type it into the chat as well?
I'm good.
Amazing Grace, your time starts now.
Amazing Grace was a word that I was unaware of. Hence, I decided to Google it. On finding out about the word on the internet, it gave me multiple meanings. The understanding of
I saw what happened, Shauna. I saw what happened. This time you managed to.
Vitamin B.
Yes, Shauna. Oh, sorry. There's a vitamin B. Is there? All right. Sama gets the minute. Yes, Sama, you get the minute. Sorry, Shauna, but on online jam, we favor the speaker. So how many points to Sama?
It's 11 plus 10, sir.
10. Okay, 11 plus 10. All right. Please total up the scores. We'll do one more topic just because we said we'd give everyone a chance to begin the round. Who needs to get to begin now?
Sir, it's
Sama hasn't had a chance to begin, right? Yeah. Okay, let's hear the scores.
Yeah. It's Shauna at 78, Tom at 67, Lara at 63, Sama at 42, Ruchira at 19, and Anush at 38.
Okay. So the topic for round number 5 will be jingle bells, right? Jingle bells. And every time you begin the sentence, you have to laugh like a slightly disreputable Santa Claus, right? So I'm not going to lay conditions on how disreputable it has to sound. I'll leave it to your creativity. There will be an element of repetition here, right? But it's forgiven because it's the constraint. So the topic is jingle bells, and the constraint is you have to laugh like a slightly mad Santa Claus, right? The topic goes to Sama, right? Who has to be reminded that there are constraints in jam sometimes. And if you're ready, Sama, the topic is jingle bells, and your time starts now.
Ho, ho, ho. Said 20 CP in the chat box when the topic Jingle Bells was presented to me. Jingle Bells reminds me of the season of Christmas. It happens in December on the 25th.
Okay. Anush has an objection. What's the objection, Anush?
Repetition of jingle bells twice. Repetition of jingle bells.
Of?
Jingle bells.
Okay, jingle bells is in the title, right? You're allowed to use whatever is in the topic, either the whole phrase or part of the phrase, right? All right. Never mind. Back to Sama. The topic is still jingle bells, and there is a constraint. Your time starts now.
Ho, ho, ho is what I see on Instagram at the end of every single year because they want to make a certain joke about how the sounds ho, ho, ho. Okay, I am done.
Okay, there's an objection from Shauna. What's the objection, Shauna?
Okay, I have to, but she repeated the ho 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 and also every single year. Every single year. So yeah, that was redundancy.
You're a strange person, Shauna, but I'll give you the
repetition of ho ho ho.
How is every single year redundant?
Why do you have to say every single year? You can just say single year. Or every year.
That's in terms of all the years you weren't married or aren't married. That people can say every single year, it's perfectly valid. Give some double grammatical objections. I mean, we know you're doing MA English, you don't have to come and throw grammar shade and jam, right? We'll give you the objection. How many seconds to sum up?
It's 21 seconds, sir.
21 seconds, so about 39 left in the minute. The topic is still jingle bells. There is a constraint, Shauna. I hope you remember it. And your time starts now.
Ho, ho, ho. Yesterday, I saw a little girl jingling someone's bells, but they weren't her own. What could I do about it? I went and snatched the ice cream from her hand and said, "You can't do this. 1, 2, 3. Give it to me now. I'll take it away from you if you don't."
Okay, objection from Tom. No, not from Tom, from Ruchira. EJP B52 is Ruchira, right? Yes, Ruchira. Congrats on getting your hand in on the objections. What is your objection?
It's my laptop. I swear it's my laptop. She hesitated right after she said 1. She said 1 and then she thought for a second and then she said 2.
Damn, bro. Damn.
See, the thing with Shauna is that she's from Goa. It's a slow state. Right, they have some Susegado and all that as their state national anthem. Right? So she's allowed to be a little slow. If that's your objection, it's overruled. Tom has a hopeful hand in the background, but hope is what life is built on, Tom. Good luck with the hope. So objection overruled. On hesitation, I'm generally kind, right? We are online and we are talking, and you saw a perfect rendition of competitive Mona, right? You saw Shauna transformed by that inner Usain Bolt of jam personality that she has, right? As I could hold my laughter back as she sort of began performing animatedly. We'll give her the mic back. 1 point to Ruchira for her first objection in jam. We'll make it 3 points, actually. 3 points to Ruchira for learning to object. Objecting is often the hardest thing to do in jam. You're hesitating and you don't know if people are going to laugh at your objection. And you don't know, I'm going to laugh at your objection, which is a good fear to have. So 3 points to you. Mike goes back to Shauna. The topic is still jingle bells. She was saying various gross things. Please remember that this is family-friendly content, right? Yeah, whatever. The topic is jingle bells. There is a constraint, and your time starts now.
Ho, ho, ho! Jingling someone else's bells is an inappropriate act. 24 years earlier, I was at a conference in the US of A, and someone told me about Santa.
Okay, Ruchira has an objection. Yeah, what's the objection, Ruchira?
Grammatical error. She said I was at a conference. It sounded like as. I know she probably meant act, but then it sounded like as. She said I was as a conference.
If it sounded like as to you, whose problem is that?
Can we take a vote on it?
It sounded like as to me. There's no democracy in JAM, unfortunately, right? JAM is ruled by dictators for life. We dictate spelling and grammar and various other things. So objection overruled, not admissible here. She meant at, and I did seem to hear at, so I'll give her the benefit of doubt there. Please remember that the rules are slightly biased in favor of the speakers. If the speaker is managing to do something with the topic, we're going to let them speak. Okay, we'll only take it away if they're suffering and unable to speak. Shauna is suffering, but for other reasons entirely. It's just her competitive alter ego taking over her personality, and Frankenstein's monster and various other such horror film scenarios. Sama's objection has gone away. Good. I wasn't going to listen to it anyway. Back to Shauna. The topic is still jingle bells.
So,
and your...
do I start from? Where do I start? Okay, I'll start with the thing, but...
Well, that's your preference, Shauna. The topic is still jingle bells, and your time starts now.
Ho, ho, ho! Jingle bell rocks. Jingle bells all the time. That Christmassy you see there is one of the best ones.
Okay, objection from Sama.
Vitamin B.
Oh, she gets a minute. We'll give Shauna the benefit of doubt this time. Points. How many seconds did she manage?
It was 60 plus 10, sir.
60?
Yeah, apparently.
How many seconds did she speak for just now?
She spoke for 60 seconds.
Can't be 60 seconds.
Yeah, so I spoke for 21 seconds. So
Yeah.
she got the rest of my
Sorry,
minute.
it's 39 seconds. Yeah, my mistake. 39 plus 10.
39 plus 10. All right. That's again a very creditable run. Shauna's getting the hang of, getting the Gadi to run. Very good. Let's hear the final scores. But before that, a round of applause for all 6. We keep forgetting Tom. Right? All 6 brave contestants. Good show. Online Jam comes with a lot of extra constraints. So you have to keep your sense of humor and your sense of hearing and your irritation with the Jam Master out of the picture and try to compete. So applause goes to you. Let's also give Malavika and her knowledge of the vitamins and Ananya Pandey operating under the pseudonym Apurva Pathak. A round of applause for flawless timing, timekeeping rather, and scorekeeping. Right, good show, everybody. I think that brings us to the end of this leg of Intramural online as well. Thank you, everybody who turned up. Thank you, volunteers and office bearers. Right, we'll now listen to the final scores.
Yes, sir. Shauna wins with 127 points. Then Tom is at 67. Lara is at 63. Sama is at 63. Ruchira is at 22 and Anush is at 38.
Okay, so we have Shauna in first place. We have Tom in second place. And we have a tie for third place between Sama and Lara, right?
No, sir.
If I heard it right.
Oh, yes, sir.
It's a tie, right? Yeah. We'll split the third prize. We'll share it between Sama and Lara, right? Good performances from all our first timers. Anush, we hope to see more of you in Jam. We have a nice inventive sort of approach to our topics, but I guess you need to get a little more comfortable with the strange rules of Jam. Ruchira, hope to see you in action more often. And Tom, thank you for objecting all those times. Very entertaining listening to your objections. Who did I forget? I've accounted for everybody, right? Have I? I seem to have. All right. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you
when
soon.
When are we getting Shiren merchandise, sir?
Hello. Your problems in life and all you address on some Reddit or something. When are we getting Shiren merchandise? She's
Sir,
one Sarpata party, she'll catch you in the parking lot and belt you, and then you will be the floating mess that was Tom. Or the pool of blood that was Tom.
Say like some proper roast about Christ University, sir. But then yeah, Shauna did her magic. I'm like,
Tom, jams are about roasting you, not Christ. So you make up for it, don't worry.
Yeah. But the problem is Arul sir is from Christ, so yeah.
That's why we roast the best.
It was a different college. I said, don't insult me like this.
So is it Doomed University or Doomed University, sir?
Doomed University. It will be doomed when you join, I say. You take your adolescents there, they won't know what to do with it. You're their answer to all their prayers. They want young men like you who never had affairs, who don't know what it means. Who think jacuzzis are cold showers, right? You're like the walking, talking dream.
Yes, sir.
Trying to put me in Christ and then attack me. You come, I'll look after you. I'm setting your English paper and correcting it. Have fun.
So Google Forms.
Google Forms. Why should I Google Forms? I have it on my computer. Too bad. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you at another episode of Jam. We'll just rename it Tom Yum Soup from now on. Right? Okay. Professor Vijay would like a valedictory to be done, but we'll do that another time. We have to get our entries for the playwriting contest. It's still open, guys. You can still write a nice play and send it to us, those who haven't registered. We look forward to receiving your entries. And now that TEP doesn't have responsibilities like scorekeeping and all that, maybe you can write a play as well and send it in. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We hope to have the offline leg of Intramural as soon as, one.
Thank you, sir. So frozen.
Yeah. So it's frozen. So thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a fun session, and thank you all for coming and watching also. I'm really glad all of you could make it and hope that people turn off a jam jar also. I'm sorry for the background noises.
My Teams is hanging for some reason. So thank you, everybody. We'll hold the offline. Can you hear me? Yeah. We'll hold the offline version of Intramural. So I'm on several devices now. Very unnerving to have one's own voice come bouncing back at one. All right. So offline Intramural will also have jam with actual table wrapping and people within throwing distance of the jam master. So it should be more fun. We want to have it under the banyan tree. And there will be coconut naan for the qualifiers at the end of the round. Because after you get roasted, you must have some consolation in life. Right? So see you at that offline leg of Intramural in person and more insults and more fun, involuntary fun from Tom and others. Right? Thank you, everyone. See you there soon.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Thank you, Shweta.